couple of changes to the outfit. Sears in the full-back position. Brett Dallas and Billy McLean, Chris Caruana and Nigel Roy. Greg Florimo and Jason Taylor, the captain. Billy Moore, the forward pack. David Fairley, Gary Larson, Steve Trindle, Mark Soden and Josh Stewart.
Yes, and I would imagine that the North Sydney Bears, with 7 backing up the bench, very important today for the Bears. I'm sure a lot of their forwards will get tired, although they are very good in the fitness department.
And you can tell by the moves, Manly come out now to North Sydney Oval. Craig Hancock, the fullback, and Denny Moore and John Hopper-Whitey, the wings. Craig Innes and Andrew Hunter in the centres. The halves of Tuvey and Field and the best forward pack in the game.
Yeah, there's Daniel Gartner too. He's only been back a couple of weeks, and a good game today might see him in that Australian side selected tomorrow. Should be a great contest, this one.
Danny Moore also, who participated in the opening State of Origin match before injury intervened, and Jason Taylor, whose kicking game today will be all important for the home side here. Craig Hancock, the fullback, who stood in and done the great job in the absence of Matthew Reach, who went to Auckland. Steve Menzies, who had 3 blinders in the State of Origin series. And your referee today, David Manson. Taylor is the man who will get proceedings underway. The 2 top teams in the Optus Cup do battle now. Deep kick, Danny Moore takes it in his own in goal and gets 15 metres out from the line. Tuvey at dummy half. The runners come. Mark Carroll backing up after a brutal Origin game on Wednesday night.
Yes, it certainly was, and it was in the wet too, so Manly have to use their interchange too, and they already have used it. There's David Gillespie taking the ball forward, and he replaces Tierney to start this match for the Sea Eagles.
Veteran prop forward plays it back. Nick Kosef looking for a little bit of space, but the defensive line comes at him, gets him, drags him to the ground. 35 out from Manly's line. Now Mark Carroll goes forward, but the Bears were up at him and forcing the turnover. A little bit of fisticuffs there between Jeff Tuvey and Steve Trindle.
Yeah, it was a good front-on hit there. Josh Stewart involved against his bigger opponent in Mark Carroll. The turnover, that's right for the North Sydney side. Here's Fairley up over the 30.
David Fairley charges up on the right-hand side. Jason Taylor, Billy Moore back on the inside. They like that play. Now Taylor wants the ball on the left-hand side. He has Florimo outside him. Taylor takes on the defensive line himself and runs into Mark Carroll. Florimo, cut-out ball. Chris Caruana. Caruana back for Matt Sears. And I think Sears was tackled without the ball.
Yes, and fair enough too. Good refereeing there. And again, you see the North Sydney sides going at that line. Here's a cut-out ball there. And there you see one of the players held back. Just tackled before he's got the football from Mark Carroll and Taylor. And is it any wonder that he'll have the shot? It's only 20 metres out, about 30 or 40 yards to the left of the upright. So this is right in kicking range for young Jason Taylor.
Taylor, who is without a doubt the best kicker in the Optus Cup. He's landed 52 from 68 so far this season at an average of 76%. Craig Field doing plenty of talk.
Yeah, it's an imperative in this sort of weather that you complete your set of 6 coming out of your own end. That's the most important thing in the game. And we saw the mistake from Manly early. Mark Carroll it was who knocked on, and North Sydney straight on the attack, and they get the penalty.
Jason Taylor lines this one up. 8 metres in from the sideline. 21 metres out. This would be a great boost for the Bears after just 3 minutes of play. And as the crowd waited in anticipation there, Mario Fennick, the breeze seemed to pop up and knock the ball from the mound.
Yeah, it's surprising, Terry. There's a good breeze behind the North Sydney side here. You can see the flags on top of the goalposts there. Pretty good breeze for North Sydney. We've got a reasonable crowd in as well, considering the wet conditions. The ground surprises me. It's in better nick than I thought. So we're in for a pretty good contest.
Can Taylor give the Bears a 2-point lead? Jason Taylor marches in, strikes it. It's wide of the left-hand side of the upright. And he's forced the ball dead. Manly come back to the 20-metre line.
You see the wind take it to the left of the upright, but at least he kicked it dead. It'll be a line drop out from Craig Field to restart play, and Norse will be back on the attack. That's a poor kick there from Field.
Field drop out was ordinary. Chris Caruana has it on the far side of the field. Wrestled to the ground, 40 out from the try line. Brett Dallas gives it on to Trindle. Trindle met in solid defence there by Sedaris and also Carroll. David Fairley, Jason Taylor. Billy Moore on the outside gets the pass away to Florimo. Florimo loses his footing. The ground very wet. There's Soden going for one of those darts out of dummy half. It's the first, but won't be the last. Now, Josh Stewart charges up into Mark Carroll. Last tackle now for the Bears. Jason Taylor, where is he? They go to Florimo, the blind side. They get back there and they tidy up Manly, but North will get another set of 6.
Yeah, well read there from Hunter, playing out of position today in the centres. He read it beautifully, a little kick through there from Florimo. Danny Moore turns around to chase the football. Good chase there from Norse. They'll get the repeat set. Plenty of pressure on Manly at the moment.
Taylor was the decoy on the right-hand side of the field. He was doing plenty of talk. Florimo went to the left-hand side. And now that's a better drop out by Craig Field. Straight down the throat of Soden. And Soden finds the runner there in Willie McLean. McLean plays it back. Larson goes forward. Soden races into dummy half. Jason Taylor on the right-hand side. They're working the blind side. Inside ball for Josh Stewart. Quick play the ball. Decoy runner of Trindle. Florimo looks sharp. Inside ball. Referee Manson has called it back. It must have been close. David Fairley, filthy.
No way. That's a forward pass there from Florimo. The idea was right. Fairley coming onto the football. He goes right to the line. Yeah, that's a forward pass. They're lucky they didn't get a penalty against them there for deliberate.
It's forward, no doubt about that, Mario Fennick. Even as a Bear, you would agree.
Yeah, mate, definitely forward pass. I've got to say, they've let Manly off the hook. North Sydney have had all the field position in this game. Manly breathe a sigh of relief now as they try to advance the football out of their own end.
They need to complete a set of 6, Manly. They've seen very precious little of the ball. Menzies pops one back for Field. Now Jeff Tuvey backing up, pops one high. Referee Manson takes no action. Jeff Tuvey seems to cop a lot of high shots. Mark Carroll.
He's blowing up a treat too. Let's have a look at it again. He goes to the line. And I would say it's a slap across the face. I wouldn't say there was a stiff arm.
Just a little bit careless. You can see Tuvey heavily taped face. He had a nasty head knock with his own teammate today, an opposing player on Wednesday night in Neil Tini. Got a nasty gash across the cheek. Now Brett Dallas. Dallas looking for some space. The chase was a good one by Manly.
And that's why Manly are one of the best teams in the competition. Dallas is a very dangerous player from the right wing. It was a great chase there from Manly, led by Jim Sedaris.
So, Trindle, David Fairley, takes it close to 40 metres out from the try line. Florimo. And picks up the penalty. Josh Stewart it is.
Well, that's just a perfect example of running the football on the advantage line. Quick tap.
Soden beat the first line of defence, as you can see. They were up well and truly inside the 10. Now Jason Taylor takes the Bears forward. They're just 21 metres out now. Dallas, once again, given space from dummy half, and that's where the Bears have been making the ground. Back for Taylor. Cuts Stewart out. Poor pass. Well picked up by Billy Moore. Eventually, Greg Florimo had nowhere to go. Moore, again on the blind side. Well, Nigel Roy, it really was a pass that maybe should not have been thrown.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that. It looked like Nigel Roy was in two minds whether to stay out or come on the inside. And in the end, it was a poor attempt to catch the football. Just turning over the football again to Manly. You can't afford to have that field position and keep coming away from that end with no points.
Mario Fennick, Manly's defence so far has been outstanding.
Yeah, it's been great. The only thing that worries me about North Sydney, they haven't converted the pressure into anything substantial. Manly able to cope with what Norths are throwing at them. couple of silly mistakes there. Nigel Roy there, a bit more effort's required. North Sydney, though, pretty good start from them.
Joseph. To make some ground. Back now, Tuvey from dummy half. And Craig Innes getting involved in the game. Lays it back for Tuvey. The field. Cutout ball. Menzies. Looking to try and link up there with Denny Moore, who came back on the inside. Last tackle for Manly. The options. They go to field, then back for Hancock. Hancock looking for a deep kick. Straight back there for McLean.
And he makes the tackle too. Beautiful kick downfield there from Hancock. And he got up there, chased his own kick and cleaned up in the end.
Nigel Roy, once again, making ground from dummy half. Through the first line, through the second, through the third. Now it's a foot race. It's a foot race that Craig Field comes from behind. What a tackle. A try saver by Craig Field.
That should be a sin bin,
It is a professional foul by Craig Field. He did all the hard work and then tossed it down the drain.
And fair enough too, man. They were in all sorts of trouble getting back on side. What a great run there from Nigel Roy. Tremendous power shown in the legs. There's the tackle, and it was a beautiful copybook tackle there from Field. Refuses to let go, and there's no alternative. Sin bin it is for Field.
And Jason Taylor, the skipper, has raced up. Mark Soden was thinking about the quick tap, but Jason Taylor says we've had plenty of ball. We've got to convert that into points, Mario Fennick. They're going to get, what a run by Nigel Roy.
Well, Nigel Roy made up for his earlier mistake. He just pushed us through a few feeble attempts to tackles. He's a big, powerful man. What's this tackle by Field, though? Copybook, I know Field's defence has been questioned. You can't question that. As Blocker said, the referee got no alternative but to banish Field to the sin bin.
Craig Field would have been caught in two minds there. He had to slow the play, the ball down. At the same time, he had to get off the tackled man, Nigel Roy. And Jason Taylor, well, this should be like shelling peas for Taylor. First points of the game. They go to the Bears, courtesy of Jason Taylor. North Sydney in front by 2 points to 0.
And Bobby Fulton won't be happy with that defence in the middle of the ruck. It was lazy marker defence there. There was no chase on the inside in the defence as Nigel Roy scooted out of a couple of tackles. And you'll see North Sydney will do a lot of that today, getting their little men in there or the players with speed to run out from that dummy half area. And Manly have got to wake up in that area.
There's Taylor, 1 from 2 today. In tough conditions for a goal kicker. The restart by Hunter. McLean was under it, and now Gary Larson. Another player backing up from the origin, but it won't worry him.
No, it certainly won't. I mean, as I noticed before, that these guys are supreme athletes, and there's none better than the likes of Fairley and Larson and Moore. Here's Billy Moore.
That barnstorming run down the blind side by Moore. So the origin back rowers for North Sydney have made a start and a half. Trindle, tackle right on the halfway line. Fairley is the man who goes to dummy half. Now, Florimo looking for runners. Picks one up on the outside. Pressure on Brett Dallas. Can't get away from Craig Innes, but not too many can.
Well, that was a great play there from Innes. He made the tackle on the outside. Here's Taylor, a little chip over the top. Then he made one straight from the ground. And there's Hancock under pressure. Good chase from Fairley. Well cleaned up in the back.
Shikaris involved. John Hopewadi from dummy half. There's a little kick by Taylor.
These are the sort of things I like from North Sydney, the way they mix their play up. Taylor, very astute at whether to chip the ball over the top, and that's good play. That keeps him honest at the back. Here's Carroll. Good hit there by Florimo.
Coming up with a big one. Now David Gillespie into the starting 13. Flicks one out the back for Kosef.
Yeah,
Kosef well wrapped up.
That was smart play there from Larson. They know that David Gillespie goes in and bounces out, gets the offload, and then you've got to clean up around the back. And that's good pressure again from Soden.
Brett Dallas takes it right on the sideline. Tries to get away from Tuvey, but Tuvey made the tackle along with Daniel Gardner. Now Soden again. Hands Jason Taylor. Heads back to the middle of the ruck. Links up with Florimo. Florimo goes forward, throws the dummy on the outside and picks up A handy 15 metres. The Bears in front as Neil Tini warms up on the sideline. Billy Moore again. The shuffle. Gets it away. And now being forced back is McLean. Sears. There goes Josh Stewart. Stewart now inside the 20. Soden out of dummy half and kicks. Good bounce for the Bears, but Hancock covers up on the outside.
He did beautifully well there, John Hopewadi, to run the shadow player. It was a beautiful bounce there. That's the advantage of having a kicker who can do it from dummy half. Everyone stays on side. It's just a good chase. The bounce was right for Norse. Hopewadi did well. Hancock cleans up. Norse on fire at the moment.
Well, good variation there, Mario Fennick, just kicking that one tackle early.
The great advantage that North Sydney have is they've got basically two halfbacks, one being Soden, who's the former halfback anyway, running from dummy half. Much like Manly, you'll see Tuvey in and out of that dummy half position, and certainly it's an advantage.
Lions, the goal line dropout. It's a good one into a breeze that favours the Bears at the moment. McLean, tackled right on the halfway line by that man, Cliff Lyons. So Bob Fulton has wasted precious little time involving Cliff Lyons into this game.
Well, he knows that Manly have to get on the scoreboard. It's been a lacklustre display so far. Some 20 minutes gone already. There's the offload that'll be worrying Manly. Fairly gets the football away. Here's Flamo. He's having a blinder.
Billy Moore now.
Oh, Tuvey
Bounces out of the tackle of Tuvey. Tuvey met in front on. And the fans here at Bear Park loved it. For Taylor. Taylor heads back to the middle. Crunching tackle that time. I think it was Menzies. Dallas. Greg Dallas gets the pass away. Drive time for the Bears. Referee Manson gives it. And now they lead by 6 points to 0 over Manly.
Tremendous support play there from, I think it was the lock forward there, Billy Moore. He was involved in the play before. That shows the fitness of the man. He was the one who made the break. Florimo's having a blinder. And just watch the way that Billy Moore bounces out of this tackle and keeps going. He does the quick play the ball, and he supports the football on the inside again. Great play from him to get the try for the Bears to open the account. Here they are. They go back up the blind side again. This is a good run from Taylor. There's Trindle on the outside. The offload to Billy Moore. There's plenty of chain passing here from the North Sydney Bears. The inside ball. That's Dallas. He looked like he was shot out of a gun. There's the offload to Moore. Sidaris can't do anything to stop that try. Well orchestrated there from the Bears to go back the blind side. Moore involved again. Look at this. Speed off the mark. There's the offload. There's the try to the Bears.
Great work by the Bears, and now Jason Taylor to put them up by 8 points to 0. But the Bears, they have come ready to play. Taylor strikes it. He likes it, Jason Taylor, and so too the crowd. They lead by 8 points to 0. Mario Fennick, you're smiling.
Yeah, wonderful turn back inside to Dallas there. This is the pass here, that's the money ball. Billy Moore, the big Queenslander, right on the spot, and it's a wonderful try. Taylor, it's like shelling peas, as TK said. 8 points to 0. At least they're starting to capitalise on some possession now, North Sydney.
You're right, Mario Fennick, and there's Billy Moore. Well, backing up after another powerhouse display on Wednesday night. Josh Stewart earns a break. Gary Larson is still out there. And we were critical of the Bears early on in the season, Blocker, about turning up to games and making slow starts and giving away leads. But certainly the last couple of weeks, it's completely the opposite.
It certainly hasn't happened today. It's been all the Bears. But I must say that it's 8 points to 0 at the moment. Manly have not had any possession. That will turn around as the game goes on. Here's Moore up the centre again, tackled by Lyons.
Lyons gets up slowly along with Sidaris. And now Brenton Pomeroy gets involved. For the Bears, a good barnstorming run by Pomeroy. To the left, Taylor. Matt Sears playing in the centres with Willie McLean at fullback. Taylor. For Florimo. Florimo to Billy Moore. Back for Florimo and turns it over.
Oh, Billy Moore is so powerful on the fringe of the ruck. He made the break again. Florimo and Moore. Outstanding for the Bears so far.
great pass by Billy Moore, but it's been Manly doing all the tackles.
Yeah, 75 tackles for Manly. That's a little bit over double. That'll take up some juice. Here's Sidaris.
And it will level out. So when Manly get the ball, they are an attacking machine.
I'm a little bit worried about the 10 metres for both sides at the moment. They're in front of the referee by a couple of metres every time. He'll have to address that.
Lions, deep, low, raking kick. McLean goes across, stumbles, picks it up and went awfully close to that sideline there.
You have to watch your feet there. McLean, his first grade game.
Very slippery underfoot. Torrential rain overnight this morning. But really,
there's Cliffy going for the feed and the loose. It wasn't far off neither, kicking out of his 40. Here's the ball. Here's McLean cleaning up. And the Bears on fire at the moment. Listen to the crowd.
Fairley lines them up, Fairley into a bit of space. They're carving them up on the right-hand side at the moment. Now back for Dallas. Dallas to Taylor. Craig Field getting back involved in the action. Florimo tackle. Taylor flings it out the back. Lyons has touched it. And he's called it a knock-on against Manly.
And that's fair enough.
And then Lyons has kicked the ball away here. Referee Manson will speak to him.
And not a go from Jason Taylor. I'm sure that his coach Peter Lou won't be happy at half-time. He threw the speculator over the top. Was just lucky that Lyons couldn't handle the football.
Now Craig Field back on the field. Jason Taylor to feed the scrum. And Norths have all the ball. They've been doing all the scoring as Greg Florimo takes a break. A chance now for the Bears. Good run by Matt Sears from dummy half. Now Trindle goes to within a metre. Push over. He's got over from dummy half. And Danny Williams has come off the bench and come up with a 4-pointer. And the Bears are out to a 12-0 lead.
Well, you can put that down to a little bit of luck for the North Sydney Bears. Jason Taylor throwing the speculator a little bit earlier. Lions knocking on. Look at the power of Williams. Gets down low. There's nothing they can do there. Very powerful man, Williams. Trindle took the marker out. Tuvey involved in the tackle. Lions a little late.
Well, Coach Bob Fulton would be none too happy with that, Mario Fennick.
Yeah, when you consider, Terry, that Manly have set the benchmark in defence for the last few years, probably the best defence in the world in any competition at that. That was a soft try, and I can tell you, Bob Fulton won't be happy.
Neil Tini getting some treatment for a back injury. As Jason Taylor. A chance to put the Bears 14 points in front after some 20 minutes of play.
He ain't singing yet.
And who would have guessed? It's not a bad start though, Block, is it? Taylor, the flags go up again. Bears supporters like to see that with Jason Taylor. 14 points to nil after 21 minutes, and they're on fire, the Bears, Mario.
Yeah, I was surprised by that soft try there. Danny Williams has only just come onto the field. Just barges over, and I tell you what, they count all the same, don't they? If you run 90 metres or 2 metres, still 6 points, 14-0. To go the Bears.
Craig Field, the restart. Straight down for Soden. And it starts all again, but they just need to get hold of that football and hang on to it.
Yeah, they certainly do. I mean, they need to be the next scorer, this Manly side. There's a missed tackle, 7 to Manly, none to North Sydney. Perfect exhibition from the Bears.
Oh,
good hit.
Oh, hit over the top. Danny
seatbelt.
Danny Moore was the player. Hall again. The kick inside for Sears. But Craig Hancock is there. The chase was a beauty by Nigel Roy.
It certainly was, and that should be a penalty to Manly too, and that should be nearly a Sydney defence laying around to play the ball. Very lucky to get away with that there, Nigel Roy. Have a look at this, he just hangs on. Have a look at here.
Sidaris.
You're not allowed him to play the ball, and a fair enough penalty there to Manly. That's a reliever that they needed. Here's Sedaris.
Well, Manly have really paid the price, Blocker, for Craig Field going to the sin bin. They're down by 14-0.
You're playing an experienced side in North Sydney. They know that they can get the space when you've got the likes of Jason Taylor who can read the play so well. It was obvious that they were going to get a try.
Joseph, Menzies, eager to get involved in the game. Craig Field, Tuvey, across field. The decoy runner was Moore, but Hancock took the ball. It just went behind his back. 23 minutes gone. 14 points to 0. Last tackle for Manly. What can they come up with? Field takes it to the line. The high kick is a shocker. It's gone backwards. Hopewadi, nowhere to go. Flings it back for Menzies. Menzies kicks it now. McLean has it. McLean hammered by Menzies.
No, that's got to be a walk to the 20-metre line. He caught that in the in-goal area. That's bad refereeing, bad touch judging, and bad in-goal touch judging.
I think you're right, Block, because referee Manson had a good look. Well, McLean looked at Manson.
Well, he's caught the football in the in-goal area. It should have been a walk.
Right. Good close look at this. There's the line.
That ball would have landed in the in-goal area. Bit of luck for Manly there, Muzzer.
Bit of luck. Just while I got you there, boys, Neil Tierney's left the field in a blow for Manly. It's a back injury, and he's in a bit of trouble.
Hopewadi winds up, runs into Dallas. Gets up, lays it back for Craig Field. And now Jim Sedaris. That's a great run and a better pass. What about the pass for Innes? Innes now. Manly on the attack. Tuvey for Menzies. Menzies sizes up the opposition. Still going, Menzies. Brought to ground, 5 metres out.
And they're aiming at Taylor too. He's having all sorts of problems there with Menzies.
They've lost the ball in the tackle. And referee Manson says, you've lost it cold, Steve Menzies.
There's a bit of a wrestle going on there. And I would say that that has a hand on it. And there it is, there's the hand. It should have been a penalty to Manly.
He could have even held on to it. No doubt Taylor had the hand in there, and you can nearly bet 90% of the time when the player loses the ball, there is the opposing player's hand on the ball. Now, there's Gary Larson getting ready to come back on, along with Greg Florimo. The Bears have had a magical start to this game. Florimo was on fire early on. About to come back into the fray. Josh Stewart. Stewart runs over the top of the first line. Back from Soden to Taylor. That's a great kick by Taylor, or maybe it might be too big. In fact, it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, tremendous kick there from Taylor. That was one of the things we talked about before the game, how important it would be. Jason Taylor, a master at the kicking.
Replayed this kick by Taylor. It was perfect from Taylor. Hancock back into his own end goal, and Hopewadi now plays it. Mark Carroll.
Just have a look at Manly there. Very slow to support the ball runners. Mark Carroll took that ball up one out. Here's Gartner now.
Joseph and Gartner. Fulton goes to dummy half. Sloppy play the ball. Now Field with a big kick of his own. McLean.
He'll learn from that too, McLean.
Races back.
You've got to get back and try and attack the football on the full. That was kicked over his head from Field. Good vision there from Craig Field.
Now Nigel Roy will gallop out of dummy half. He must stay in the field of play. He's been taken over the sideline, and referee Manson's given a penalty. Well, I thought Nigel Roy was always in danger there of going out.
He certainly was. It was an ordinary run there from Nigel Roy. But is this a second tackle? Well, I would say it was done in the same motion.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 call. Probably when you have a look at it on replay, Mario, it probably was a second tackle, that movement to actually drag him over the line.
Yeah, Terry, I probably would have disagreed with the referee on that occasion. Manly certainly frustrated. They just don't seem to have that spark today, Manly. Still plenty of time to go, but I can't remember Manly with the football in the North Sydney end yet.
I had to say, we haven't been able to see the spark because they haven't had the ball. Now, Lorimer again. Williams has come up with a mistake. Sedaris knocked it on, but it'll be Manly's speed, so Manly should get the ball back anyway.
Yeah, they look very tired, Manly. You just have a look at their body language walking to the scrum. A lot of players with their hands on their hip. Whereas the North Sydney side have got a little bit of spring in their step, and you can have a look at the scoreboard, 14 points to 0. That's the reason why.
The back row combination there of Daniel Gartner and Kosef.
I just want to see Field run the football.
You've got your wish. Off he went, then he passed it. Sloppy play by Manly. Well, the Premiers don't normally do that on the first tackle.
No, it's the North Sydney defence that are really frustrating Manly into error. And a lot of their players are playing the best that they can. Here's Gartner now.
Gartner winds up. He missed 4 games earlier this season with injury. Fulton. Long pass for Sedaris. Now working as a back rower and starting to try and give Manly that momentum they need to go forward. That's a bad pass. It's a shocking pass.
But they've been bustled into errors, Mario. If you listen to the North Sydney defence, they're really putting pressure on Manly.
Well, they've got a 14-0 lead, Brock, and the reason they have is because of great defence like that, putting pressure on players like Kosef. I agree with you, Brock. There's no talk out there. The body language doesn't look good either for mine. Although you can never write Manly off. If you can recall earlier in the year, the Roosters led them by 18 and Manly came home. So
they won in a trot. And there's Craig Field, who, after having 10 minutes in the sin bin, gets another break now.
And here's the big workers for the Bears. David Fairley having a mighty game. He might be included in the test side. 12 tackles, 6 hit-ups so far. He's on fire. Here's Pomeroy.
Pomeroy pops it back. Williams right into the ground. 28 metres out. The Bears launching another attack. Taylor. Florimo. Get up again. The veteran. Josh Stewart winds up. It's been a great season for Josh Stewart. Now, from dummy half, they've been doing some damage. Dallas, a nothing kick. Manly come up with it. I thought that player might have been offside.
The ball come off Cliff Lyons. A little luck there for David Gillespie. Here's Hopewadi. And that's a great front-on tackle from the Bears. Look at them. They're swarming.
Brenton Pomeroy, the man involved in that front-on hit. Manly looking for a piggyback. Locker, I think you're right. The 10 metres looks a little bit skinny at the moment.
Yeah, I thought that's been... But for both sides, it's not only Manly that are struggling with it.
Kosef.
Just have a look at the Manly play the ball, how slow it is compared to North Sydney. You watch the way that they put their players on the ground and watch how long it takes. That's been the difference so far in this game. Norths are hungry for the win.
Last tackle. Big kick by Cliff Lyons. Now Willie McLean once again has to turn around.
I'm sure Peter Louie will be telling his fullback to get a little bit deeper in the second half. It's the second time he's had to turn around to chase after it.
Nigel Roy.
The game he's had. He's an extra forward, isn't he? Big lump of a lad from the right wing.
Reba, and dummy half finds Brett Dallas. Dallas are both the wingers for North. You often see it in the wet conditions. They come in and do a lot of the work, help out the forwards. Reba again at dummy half. Backwards ring. Larson just steamrolls Sedaris. He went back like shot from a gun. Now Taylor runs it, kicks for Dallas. Hancock goes across, and Hancock allows it just to go over the sideline.
And I'm sure that Jason Taylor, with that kick downfield, he's had a bit of success there, would have been trying to keep the ball in play. Hancock just a little bit slow to get across there. In the end, he lets the ball roll in the touch. He knows he's got the speed men on the right wing in Dallas, and it's all North Sydney in the first half. Here's Kosef having a rest.
Craig Field back on now. Mario Fennick has been on and off.
Actually, I was watching Craig Field go sit on the bench. He had the walkie-talkie in his ear, And I don't doubt it was Coach Bob Fulton trying to lay down some instructions. Manly gone away from their game plan a bit. We see Manly making mistakes, and their defence is a bit ordinary too. So Bob Fulton might have had a few words to Craig Field.
Field again for Menzies. Look at Menzies go. And now Hopawate. Hopawate got around the first one. Has support on the inside.
Josh Stewart, what a magnificent effort from the big front rower. He makes the cover tackle on Hancock.
How'd he get there, Blocker? Stewart chasing down Hopawate and Hancock.
He swamped him here.
He's missed. He's lost the ball, Craig Hancock. And Hancock, oh. Josh
Should have
Stewart.
been a penalty to Manly there.
Stewart lashing out with the boot. We gave him credit for the cover defence, but he's got to get a brick for this.
That's the play of the day. Not that. That's not. The chase was.
And Craig Hancock with every right to blow up there, Mario.
Might hear a bit more of that, boys. Certainly it looked like a kicking motion, although it was a knee, but certainly we might hear a little bit more about that.
I thought it was a half pie G up, as if I caught you.
Trust you to say that, Block.
Craig Hancock got a shock when he looked up and saw Josh Stewart. And now, here go the Bears. As good as a pass. In fact, it went forward.
Manly are getting on a little bit of a roll now. That's North Sydney panicking again. We'll lose football there in the end from Nigel Roy.
15 points to 0. The Bears in front.
They need to score next, Manly.
This is a big 6 minutes coming up.
And it's everything we would have thought it to be. First place third, that's a Manly win field from the scrum base.
An important set of 6 for Manly now. Lions, Craig Innes. Innes inside ball for Hopawate, who did extremely well to hang on to that. Now, Hancock. It's good yards from dummy half for Hancock.
They're good on one-on-one tackle from Fairley too.
Now Tuvey. They try and work the blind. Fulton goods up, lays it back for Tuvey. Tuvey to field. Now Lions. And when you mention Lions, you mention the back rowers.
Yeah, well read there from Caruana. Tremendous reader of defence. Great tackle there on Gartner.
Now Tuvey. Fulton. 3-on-2 on the left-hand side. Can they make it work? Yes, they can. Manly score, courtesy of John Hopawate. 3-on-2, and Manly get their first try of the game.
Oh, what a great bit of play there from Craig Innes. The catch and pass situation, Hopawate on the steamer. I don't know what Jim Sedaris was doing out there, but lucky he was out there. As you said, 3-on-2. Here's the long ball, the defence just sliding off. Watch this ball from Innes. This is special. Draws in Dallas, beautiful pass. Hopawate scores.
Mention a big set of 6 for Manly. They really had to score here. Fulton held the pass up well. Then Innes. And then Hopawate did the rest.
Again, you can put it down to the mistake that they made coming out of trouble. Imperative that you do complete your set of 6 coming out. And again, Tuvey, the long pass, Fulton again involved. He made Billy Moore come at him. And Sedaris, great ball there. Look at that one. Dallas sucked in. Hopawate scores without a hand laid on him.
Craig Field from wide out at the legs. Wide of the right-hand side, and John Hopawate picks up his 6th try of the season. Mario Fennick, they needed to score.
Yeah, like a great side they are, Manly. They manufactured something there. They needed to score, as you said, Terry. And there was nothing really doing there, but some great work by Sedaris. And that pass by Innes there for Hopawate to score. Manly breathe a bit of a sigh of relief. At least they're on the board now, 14 points to 4. They haven't had any possession at North Sydney's end.
Sedaris, since he's moved, Fulton's come on into the hooking position, and Sedaris operating as the back rower. He's given them a bit of go forward running. Now, this is Gartner. Manly really did miss Gartner when he was out.
Yeah, tremendous player, Gartner. He's been outstanding in this game so far. There's a good hit over the top on Mark Carroll, but let's not forget Manly will have the breeze in the second half.
Tuvey, knock on by Jeff Tuvey. He was trying to get the arms free, and I think it was David Fairley.
Yeah, great tackle there from David Fairley. He's having a blinder.
Tuvey, well, that's the mistake you don't need. with 2.5 minutes to go before the half-time break. Taylor, inside runner, Fairley. Wrestled to the ground there by Gartner and Menzies. Taylor swings him to the left. Taylor straight through the step. He got hammered by Hancock.
What a tackle. Fulton missed it.
Now Shears out of dummy half. Matt Shears, how quick is he? Quick play, the ball needed. Fairley. Inside ball now. McLean.
Too slow from dummy half from Fairley there. He hesitated. Last tackle. Taylor. He'll kick for the outside man. It's a lottery.
Nigel Roy is up there. Hunter flew high, took it well.
Good play from the youngster. Good player, young Hunter. Move him into the centres now. Manly trying to get on with the play. Here's Innes.
Well, they've survived this. It was an important one to survive, Mario.
Bryce, I tell you that, they can ill afford a try just before half-time. They've built a bit of momentum with that try to Hopewade. But mistakes, Manly are just making too many mistakes. We see Carroll try to advance the football.
Advance it he does. Gain is on 15 metres, Mark Carroll. Fulton finds field. Lyons, the back rowers line up outside him. Danny Moore into the centres with Hunter on the wing. Hunter hurting that tackle, is he? There's a bear down in back play also. Hunter plays
Matt Sears. He got his head in the wrong position on the tackle on Danny Moore. He's struggling to get back.
And now Sears gets to his feet and gets back. Lyons. Field. The little kick, but Nigel Roy was there.
I think that was ordinary football.
In fact, Brett Dallas.
Plenty of time to read it too, Field. It just rolled straight into Dallas's hands.
Dallas plays it back for Reba. There's Nigel Roy. Roy picks up 10 metres from dummy half. Florimo picked up, driven to the ground by Tuvey. And Florimo can afford to smile.
I wouldn't be laughing. Beautiful tackle there. Here's Josh Stewart. He's been good. It's been a great battle between himself and Mark Carroll makes the tackle.
Stewart plays it back. Taylor, he'll run and take the tackle, will he? But not too easily. So Jason Taylor, the skipper, doesn't like the attention he got from Mark Carroll.
They'll be applauded off this North Sydney side. Great exhibition of football in the first half. Been far superior over Manly. Manly will get a little bit more football with the wind in the second half. This is going to be a great game of football.
The Bears, they lead by 14 points to 4. North Sydney, they lead the Premiers. We'll take a short break from Bear Park. David Manson in the middle, and Field, the high kick. Soden gives it to Larson, and Larson charges straight up. He never deviates. 14 to 4, the Bears in front. David Fairley. Mark Carroll came over the top. Joseph down below. And there goes Soden again. But this time, Manly a lot more alert. Of Soden running from dummy half. Billy Moore hammered in the tackle. Right, Menzies and Tuvey over the top. Josh Stewart charges up into Jimmy Sedaris. Last tackle for the Bears. Soden continues the tactic of kicking out of dummy half, and Soden puts on a good chase by himself. And now Hancock forced across field.
Yeah, they made it pretty easy there for the North defenders. Hancock running across field, cleaned up in the end by Caruana.
He goes to dummy half. Gardner. Ooh, just manages to grab hold of the ball. He lost it momentarily.
He's twisted his knee in that tackle too.
And that could be his bad right knee. Mario Finnick, Gardner limping badly in back play.
Yeah, it happened right in front of me, Terry. I've got to say, they can ill afford to lose Gardner as we see Tuvey make one of his customary runs. I've got to... Yeah, there he is there. I've got to say, the breeze, you believe it or not, is not as strong as it was in the first half, although it is backing this Manly side up as we see Field kick downtown. It's crucial for Manly to score first in this second half.
What? Matt Sears brings the ball back.
I'd just like to see Manly, when they get to the ball, when they've got the football, go to the fringe a little bit more. Spread the football, make that North's defence spread out a little bit more.
David Hall, the Bears, throwing it wide early in the tackle count. Florimo, first receiver, back on the inside. Edging up towards the halfway line. Trindle, met by his opposite number in Carroll. There goes Soden again. Tuvey, well aware of Soden. Last tackle for the Bears. Back for Taylor. Taylor runs it to the advantage line. Caruana, he'll take the tackle on Hopewadi. Pops it out for Dallas. Ricocheted off the back of Menzies. Stewart. Florimo, over the head. Oh! Hancock.
Try time.
Try time for the Bears. They've scored first in the second half. And now lead by 18 points to 4. Fairley was there, Florimo.
There was absolutely no pressure on Hancock at the back there. I thought this was a pretty ordinary kick here from Florimo. They need to get the ball up. It just went straight down his throat. No pressure whatsoever. A flat drop there, and he didn't clean up. Fairley comes through, scoops her up. And there's the try right next to the left upright.
Well, plenty of skills involved here. Firstly, they kept the ball alive. The skill of Florimo with the kick overhead. Hancock juggled it, dropped it. Fairley kept it on the toe. Then did extremely well for a big man to get down to the ball, pick it up cleanly, and then dive across. Josh Stewart threw it out the back. Sears had the quick hands. And what about Florimo? He'll say it was a set move. And now Fairley dives across. Picks up 4 points. Jason Taylor adds the extras. 20 points to 4. Mario Fennick, the Bears in control.
Yeah, luck's a fortune in rugby league, isn't it, Terry? I've got to say, Hancock seemed to have that covered. Ball goes loose. David Fairley, what an unsung hero he is. Didn't get too much of a go in direct football. A great player. They've got a stranglehold on this game now, the Bears. 20 points to 4. Surely Manly can't come back from here.
Gary Larson with a smile on his face, shaking his head still. Can't believe the kick of Florimo.
Well, it just shows the importance of even chasing the football when you think nothing's on. I mean, if you would have had a look at that kick there from Florimo, you thought it was a G-up, but good chase there from Fairley. Cleaned up in the end. Here he is again.
The Florimo has yet to score a try so far this season. He's been involved in plenty. Billy Moore up into the line. And Danny Moore was over the top. They work away on the short side. Great run by Florimo. It's his 13th season with North Sydney. His one and only club. Loves it dearly, and he would love to do the victory lap on grand final day with the Bears. Taylor runs around Tuvey. Taylor holds it up. Caruana back for Dallas. Dallas, Dallas, Dallas goes all the way. In fact, he trots across. He puts on the aeroplane, Brett Dallas, and the Bears go berserk at Bear Park.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jason Taylor showed an enormous amount of pace here to scoot around Jeff Tuvey. It was. Manly just didn't cover up on the inside. Once Dallas got the football, that was it. Here it is. Have a look at the speed. Have a look at Manly backing off in the fence. The ball goes on the outside. Caruana there inside, and that shut the gate. Sedaris can't foot it. No one else can. Great try there to Dallas. What a finisher he is. They run the football on the last. Jason Taylor, unbelievable speed shown from him. It's Caruana, beautiful play. That sucked in 2 players. Hopewadi misses a tackle. Sedaris comes across. Hancock can't foot it. And he'll be loving this one.
I think Brett Dallas has celebrated 5 metres before the line here by sticking his tongue out at the cover defence coming across.
Might be a Kiwi.
He could be. Doing a little bit of the harker as he goes across. But Brett Dallas, such a controlled runner of the ball, cruises across, gives it half an aeroplane. And now Jason Taylor. Oh, he kicks it. 26 points to 4. Mario Fennick, not even you would have thought of that scoreline.
North Sydney, well and truly, they're starting to destroy this Manly side now. Now it'll test their mettle. All it was Innes didn't read the play properly, went across, back inside of Dallas, and give him some space, Dallas. No one's going to stop him. I'll tell you what, this Manly side, well, are they the great side that we've seen before?
Well, I said before the game started, if the Bears really are to be true premiership contenders, at home today they would really have to test Manly. They have done more than that. 26-4, and I guess if it was any other side apart from Manly, you would say they've got no hope of coming back, but it is now crunch time for the Sea Eagles. Soden, once again, out of dummy half, picks up 8 metres, quick play the ball. Oh, deep front on hit there by Carroll, but Josh Stewart just kept going.
That's a great collision there, and I said in the first half what a great contest it is against these two today. Last tackle, Soden skips under the Tuvey tackle. Another high one for Hancock.
Well, it was nightmare stuff for Hancock. He took it in the field of playing, then gained 10 metres.
He didn't look real confident about this one. Well taken in the end from Hancock. Manly battling to get out of their 20-metre line.
Field. Mark Carroll.
12-2, the missed tackles, Manly, far too many. Tuvey from dummy half. Here's Gillespie.
Gillespie now, Innes. Craig Innes has seen very little of the ball. Jimmy Sidaris. Big collision this time with David Fairley. Last tackle. Craig Field.
Well, can Fairley on this performance work his way into the 17-man Australian side? I think he's been outstanding today, Fairley.
Well, the kick is too big for Manly. And Norths will march back to the 20-metre line. For the tap restart, Soden wants the ball, gets it.
It's amazing how tired you get on the scoreboard when you're behind by so much. 22 points they're behind at the moment. Manly looking tired.
Billy Moore into the line. Carroll, another tackle.
Here we are, Billy, a little bit upright there, son. Smashed over the top by Carroll.
Soden finds David Fairley. Again, Florimo carves them up. Greg Florimo, can he get try number 1 for the year? Yes, he can. Greg Florimo, it is a Bears picnic against Manly. Who would have thought?
And the good thing about that is he didn't try to celebrate the try before he got there. Once he got over that line, he threw the arm up. I feel a little bit sorry for Jeff Tuvey, who tries so hard. He missed the tackle. Florimo, have a look at Menzies come across here. Look at the speed. Florimo, too fast. There's Menzies. Here's Florimo celebrating.
Well, he has waited 14 weeks of the Optus Cup to get across the try line, Greg Florimo, and he does it this time. He's turned 30, but still extremely quick. Beats the cover of Menzies. They were never going to get him. Look at him. They love him here in Bear territory. His first try of the year.
But have a look at the career. 63 tries to Florimo. Taylor moves in
his 250th game for the Bears, Greg Florimo. Jason Taylor. Well, that's a cover. 32-4, Mario Fennick.
The alarm bells are starting to ring now. Manly, well and truly.
They're falling off the wall.
Have a look at this last try. Nice width in the play too. This pass here from Fairley. Watch Florimo hit that ball like a good player should. Nice footwork in the slippery conditions. And go Flo, he's got the foot down. He's just about there, puts the hand up. And he's very happy about that, Flo. Good on you, mate. 32-4, the Bears are on fire.
Mario, he's that excited he only ran over the dead ball line, Flo. Well, this was a big test for the Bears today. Just as many players backing up. Origin number 3. And now, Taylor into a bit of space for David Hall. Hall comes back on the inside. And still, Manly have seen no ball in the second half.
Well, how good are they at getting out of their own end? Soden's been outstanding. David Fairley with his one-pass runners on the fringe of the ruck. They've got out of their end with ease today. Here's Taylor again, the little second-man play for Josh Stewart, who's played so well too. Tuvey comes up with the tackle.
Tuvey has tried his heart out for Manly. Charging up into the line. Forward pack. They've dominated Manly.
It's amazing what a lead can do. They're all firing up.
Larson with the kick. Gary Larson. The kick. The chase. Well, everything falling into place for the Bears. Is there nothing Gary Larson can't do?
Well, he's a skillful player, isn't he? He's been a good player for a long time. Beautifully weighted kick here. Hopewadi had to turn around and chase. Cleaned up in the end by Hancock. They'll get the football back. Manly stalling tactics at the moment. They don't want to get on with it.
Wakefield looking for a solution. Not too sure if there's an easy one. Soden just takes the pace off it there for Matt Sears.
And also want to hope it rains come semi-final time. Geez, they're an unbelievable football side in the wet, in the conditions today, being great.
The Van der Hum of the Optus Cup. North Sydney Bears. Won a Melbourne Cup in a crocodile. 32-4 at the moment. Now Soden. Taylor. The short pass to Larson. Larson back to Sears. They're playing with the Eagles.
Playing with confidence, that's what they're doing.
Tuvey trying to hang all over him. Now the frustration comes out. Tuvey involved in a punch-up with Matt Sears.
Well, it's Caruana, it is.
Well, Caruana...
He ran around, pushed Tuvey off. Tuvey objected to it.
Well, I think...
And then she was on.
Well, Caruana was looking for the quick play the ball. Tuvey lying all over the tackled player.
He's reopened that eye again too.
Tuvey doesn't like tasting defeat. And that's just a little bit of frustration, Mario.
I've got to say, and mate, fair enough where I'm coming from, I reckon Caruana's got to go to the bin here. Watch this reaction here. Fair enough by Tuvey, but he's got to go to the bin, Caruana, for mine. I think he was hard done by Tuvey.
And I'd have to agree with you too, Mario. There's no reason for Caruana to come and be involved in that. It was a one-on-one tackle. He come and pushed Tuvey out of the way. Tuvey objected. He's got to go to the bin.
Now the skipper being called over, Jeff Tuvey. And Caruana, who we've seen his lack of discipline on a couple of occasions so far this season. And what is the decision? I think he could escape here, Caruana.
Should be a Manly penalty.
It will be a Manly penalty, but I don't think Caruana is going to get some time. Well, there's Tuvey. Well, yeah, he's overreacted, Caruana. And he's thrown the first punch also. The penalty goes to Manly. But Caruana stays on the field of play.
Let's see it hot up now.
Well, these clubs, they've been talked about as coming together. Today, they're further apart than ever. Stewart involved in the tackle. He and Mark Carroll have had a great running battle.
Yeah, it's been a great contest, hasn't it? Carroll wanted to go on with it there. He did well there, but Josh Stewart just to keep out of it.
There is plenty of time left. 25 minutes, in fact. A side like Manly can chalk up the points.
Not the way their defence is today. Norse are on fire.
Now, Stewart comes over the top. That's Hunter, Fulton, Tuvey, Gardner, Lyons, kicks for Danny Moore. They've kicked on the fourth tackle. Matt Sears goes back. Was it a Shepherd? Referee Manson says no.
No, you're allowed to run people off the ball. That's what they did there. It's fair enough. Hang on.
Tuvey makes another tackle. 2 in a row. And there you go. Soden now pushing players away from the tackled player. They want to quick play the ball. Soden. Taylor. Florimo. Galloping like a teenager. Taylor.
Oh, he didn't look on his left then, Taylor. Here's Dallas.
He gets it away on the right. Brett Dallas. Dallas is going to get try number 2. Well, Brett Dallas makes it 36 points to 4. It's an avalanche of tries for the Bears.
Yeah, another strong run there from Florimo. Hopewadi was turned inside out. He missed the tackle on Dallas, and that's when it was shut the gate. The referee was in marking it to play the ball. Here's Florimo, great bust on the inside to Taylor. He should have looked on his left-hand side, but he manages to get the football away. Here's Hopewadi turned inside out from Dallas, and it's see you later.
He just scoots. He does it without effort. Brett Dallas, Taylor, Florimo. Well, they've just failed to contain Greg Florimo today. Jason Taylor got the pass away eventually, and Dallas, from a standing start, stood up Hopewadi cold. And Brett Dallas, the hair goes back, the ball goes down, 36 to 4. And Jeff Tooby leaving the field. That's what the boos and the crowd are for.
Well, no one would ever have any right to boo Jeff Tooby. What a courageous player he is. For his size, I would say that he's the toughest bloke I've ever seen.
Pound for pound, no doubt, Block. And he'll get a break. He captained New South Wales to a 2-1 victory in the Origin arena as Jason Taylor. Taylor miscues that one. The scoreline remains 36 to 4, Mario.
I'll tell you what, Terry, let's get the statistician to get the look at the record books. Look at this bloke flying over. If he's not the man of the match, I'm not here. Back inside of Taylor's good halfback should backs up. This pass here's the critical one. Has to offload that. And once this man's got the ball, Dallas, who's going to catch him from there? Dallas like an absolute rocket. But let's get the statistics on this. It's been a long time since North Sydney have led Manly by this score.
Right. Mark Reaver took that one. Now plenty of feeling in this game. Innes and Lyons make the tackle. Williams plays it back for Billy Moore. Backs land to the ground. And now there's a little bit of sting in Manly's defence, but it's coming a bit too late.
I just think they've been totally outplayed. There's been a lot of tired players for Manly, although North's had a lot of players backing up. They've had the better of the football. This man, Mario mentioned Florimo as the man of the match. I would say that Fairley, in my opinion, has been the best player on the field.
Fairley lays it back. Taylor gets a big kick away. Does Taylor straight down for Hancock. Hancock takes on Williams. Williams makes the tackle. Oh,
that'll make it.
Big hit on that occasion.
Shannon Nevin it was who was poleaxed.
Oh, Williams trying to get involved there. Over eager on Craig Innes.
Innes has tried hard for Manly today. That won't worry him.
Lyons back for Nevin. That bypasses, that's Innes, the Craig Field. And there's the replay. Craig Innes. Okay, now to Menzies plays it back. Inside ball. There's Field. Hopewadi. Tuvey, after a very short break, comes back out for Manly. Hopewadi pushes away from Fairley. Now the long kick for Matt Sears. Sears fumbles it. It went backwards. What's the chase like? Matt Sears split them wide open. Matt Sears, can he go all the way? I think he can. This is a massive effort. Hancock comes. Sears gets tied. Hancock wrestles into the ground.
Oh, well done, Hancock. He came again. Matt Sears showed unbelievable ability. He's injured now.
Well, Sears.
What about the chase from Hancock?
Well, I thought he might have got there, Sears.
He came again. Hancock it was, who in the end cleaned up. They go wide. Gee, every time they've gone to the fringe of the ruck, they've caused Manly problems. Here's Sears. Out goes the hand and the tongue. And clean up in the end by Hancock. Good footy.
He might not have got to the try line, Matt Sears, but he did advance the ball some 80 metres in a fantastic solo effort.
That's where he's got hurt. Shannon Evans coming over the top, making the second tackle. Gillespie replaced Carroll, back on for the Sea Eagle.
This is the impressive thing about the Bears at the moment is they are going on with the job. Billy Moore, plenty of feeling between these two clubs. Flash of the north side. Reba.
They're short here.
Taylor takes it to the line. Josh Stewart. The ball went backwards. Reba gets it down. They're going to award the try. No.
It's just the execution there that was the poor part. Josh Stewart ran himself into the gap. Taylor, Webber comes in. Look at that, just on the outside, knocked back there. Well, I've got to say that this is a knock back, sorry. Have a look at that, the ball springs out. The ball goes backwards. That's a try for mine.
Reba, called back.
Here's the shot again. Taylor going right to the line. That ball's gone backwards. That's a try.
Went backwards initially, and that's all that counts, and then went forward, Mario, when it bounced.
I tell you what, it's been a long time since we've seen a score line like this. Manly, previously they've been the yardstick in the game. This worries me, this score line. Certainly they haven't provided a whimper, Manly, and that's what they're known for. Their strength in defence and their commitment. Today, certainly it's not there, that commitment, as we see Menzies
makes the clean bust. Where's the support? He can't get it away, or can he? Oh, great work by Menzies. Shannon Nevin.
They've got to go wide.
Slow play the ball. He's hurt in the tackle, Nevin. Just when they needed a quick play the ball, Nevin is injured, and there's quite some concern.
How good's this bloke in motion? Genius. He beats out of the Reba tackle. The inside, the support comes a little bit late. He hands off Dallas, offloads to Nevin. And Nevin lands on the football. He's winded there. Should have got up and played the footy and then got on with it. Went down after that.
Tough judge. Shannon Nevin. I think he might have not only winded himself here, but also hit his head. Closer look.
Play the ball quickly here. There's the ball landing right in the tummy.
His head goes straight into the ground, and a nasty knock, Mario.
Oh, I've got to laugh. Blocker, you're hard as nails.
Yeah, get him off.
The bloke's nearly dead.
Get him off.
Get up and play the ball, Blocker says.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get on with the game.
I hate you to be my boss. Oh.
I am.
Oh, yeah, good one.
Now Menzies. But, of course, that delay has given the Bears plenty of time to reset their defence. There's Field, Tuvey, left without a runner. Back, Sedaris, the kick, Brett Dallas, fair catch.
Beautifully read there from Dallas. If you note the small in-goal areas here at North Sydney Oval, Norths get on with his Caruana, just struggling up over the 30-metre line, but well taken there. Josh Stewart is having a well-earned rest. Trindle on for the Bears.
Williams lines up, backslam to the ground by Sedaris.
I suppose the best thing to come out of this for Manly, North Sydney have been convincing winners, is that they live the fight another day.
Week, the round of matches, a full round. Bears, though, just running rampant.
You'll go home happy if you're a Bears supporter.
Barely.
A great performance.
For Taylor, Williams looking to offload, can't do so. Trindle winds up, gets the ball away. Double knock on.
Tuvey makes the tackle. What a courageous player he is. Desperation there from Tuvey. The offloading skills of Trindle. Skips out of one. Here's the offload there. There's Tuvey making the tackle.
Yeah, Manly feed. Craig Field will come across and feed the scrum. Still the scoreline, 36-4. 6 tries to 1. 6 goals to 0. Hancock Runs into Florimo. Field. A chance now for Gartner.
And there's that second phase play that they haven't been able to get all day. North Sydney have really nullified that part of Manly's game. They go wide now through Kosef.
Kosef back on the inside. Quick hands. Tuvey. A couple of numbers on the outside. Tuvey. Unable to get around the desperate tackle there.
Now Williams comes up with a penalty there. The second tackle on Tuvey. It was a good tackle there from Reba. He came over the top there. This is Williams. Comes up, makes a second tackle, pushes him down. Gary Larson, he just can't get enough. Larson, he wants this game to go forever.
Well, the Bears players just thrive on backing up from the origin, Mario Fennick.
For both sides. Remarkably fit athletes, players like Larson, Billy Moore and Fairley. I've had the pleasure of playing with these guys. They are super athletes. I've got to say, though, there's still 15 minutes to go, so this scoreline could be anything.
6-4. Tuvey. Menzies. Bypasses Innes. Trying to get involved in this game, Craig Innes. Fulton goes to dummy half. Fulton, good ball. Menzies gets over the line for Manly eventually.
Oh, he's a freak, isn't he?
A good pass by Fulton.
It was a good pass there for Fulton. They stood off him. That's the first time North has stood back in defence. Here he goes right in the line, holding the ball out in both hands. It's Taylor. Gets the offload. There's Menzies. Sprints onto the football. Beats the last line of defence. And Manly are over.
It's Fulton showing the ball. Florimo fell for the dummy. Menzies backing up and beats the cover defence to get over in the corner, leaving a very tough conversion for Craigfield. Have a look at Menzies. Go again. Gets across. And the Bears still lead by 36-8. Craigfield struck that one well, but just wide. And now the dark clouds continue to roll over here at Bear Park. I don't think it'll worry North Sydney too much. 36-8. Craigfield just looking a bit despondent, Mario Fennick.
I suspect North Sydney might be thinking about their post-match celebrations because their defence around the marker area there was very ordinary. So North Sydney might be planning their after-match drink. Manly certainly a long time ago, but the mighty Bears are home.
You love those Bears.
Does he like getting on camera or
he
what?
He loves that camera.
Hey? It's Rockefeller.
Mario's head is like a magnet to a camera. 36-8.
He called the cameraman over there then. You know.
Yeah, he did. He's directing the whole show. Back to the footy. 36-8. 6 tries to 2. Sidaris. Tuvey. The Lions. It's 36-8 at the moment, and that is exactly the same score as North's record-winning margin against Manly. So at the moment, 36-8 equals the most points Norths have ever beaten Manly by. A scrappy stage of play.
Very frustrated Manly there. Good play there from Sidaris to break it up a little bit. The little chip over the top, he didn't get the bounce. It's knocked on by Manly. It'll be North's feed. Players just walking to the scrum now. There's Sidaris leaving the field. And Cliff Lyons will move into hooker, Gillespie into the tight end.
Handing errors 7 each. Taylor gets it in. Comes out for Dallas. Dallas already scored 2 tries. Tackle just short of the halfway line. Plays it. Taylor. Beautiful pass for Florimo. Florimo not so beautiful. On the left-hand side for Nigel Roy. Gary Larson, a workhorse. Runs up in the shoulder of Mark Carroll. Taylor again. Florimo to Fairley. Fairley went over the top of Field and Craigfield is hurt. David Hall goes for a gallop. Hopper Whitehead showed great hands on that occasion.
Send him to England after that one. Great catch there from Hopewadi. Manly go wide.
Tuvey Better space on the outside.
And who do you reckon's over there covering? Larson. Genius.
Long pass, but Lions. Lions to the advantage line. Menzies back slam to the ground. Hangs onto the ball. Fulton picks up 10 metres. Steals it from dummy half. Kosef looking for a runner. Hancock. Gillespie. Back for Kosef. Quick hands by Carroll. Menzies out the back for Lyons. Lyons throws a long one on the far side. Andrew Hunter, well, just flings it forward. Play on is the call. And now the counter-attack. Mark Carroll has absolutely nailed McLean.
McLean, don't run with your head up, son. He bounced out of it well.
Oh, full points to both players there, Mark Carroll and Willie McLean. Reba. That's Fairley. Oh, Lorimer. Just a little bit of hesitation on that pass. Mark Carroll might be in a beaten side, but he's got through a lot of defensive work.
When you get tackled by Mark Carroll, you know it's going to hurt. So you might as well try and hurt him when you're running with the ball. Pomeroy leaving the field, and also Reba. Daniel Gartner for Manly. Both sides out on their feet at the moment. Manly try to attack from the scrum. Here's Hopawate.
Hopawate into the line. Flicks one out the back for Tuvey. Tuvey. Long ball from Kosef. Danny Moore. Moore. Tackled 40 out from his own line. Sidaris. The long ball. They're trying to stretch the Bears. The Bears just slide across. Innes. The inside ball. Sidaris nailed in the tackle by Sodu. Now Menzies. Menzies. Off he goes again, Steve Menzies. Hopawati. McLean, good front on tackle.
Yeah, that's a hard tackle to make. Great play there from McLean to stop the rampaging Hopawati. Manly go wide. It's in the hands of Kosef.
Kosef throws it. Now Tuvey again. Moore. Oh, well, fundamental error.
Time to go home, boys.
36-8. You don't see this too often. There's Denny Moore. And Kosef just juggles it and it went forward. Nigel Roy. Taylor with a kick. They're chased by Brett Dallas. Hancock goes back. And Hancock can't beat the tackle of Dallas.
Footy, that's great football there. Dallas, what a player he is. Here he comes up with number 2. Great chase there from Dallas. Have a look at this. Right down low, under the palm. Beautiful tackle there from Dallas.
Lyons goes to dummy half. There's Carroll. Sidaris. Sidaris. Straight through. Willie McLean, take a bow. That's a beauty.
Sidaris is looking around to pass the football. Here's Kosef on the fringe again.
Tuvey. Tuvey puts the kick in for Andrew Hunter, but the kick a touch too big. And Mario Fenech, I would say this is one of the Bears' finest days.
Yeah, certainly. And when you consider that today's victory by the Bears has a few ramifications on the competition table. Manly are on 20 points. The Mighty Bears are on 19, nipping at their heels, and Parramatta now in 3rd on 18. So the Optus Cup starting to hot up.
A crowd of 14,500, and considering the torrential rain we experienced
tremendous crowd
this morning, a big crowd.
Tremendous crowd from both sides there. There's a lot of Manly people here today, but North Sydney on their home ground in this sort of conditions. They came in late, but congratulations to all the fans that turned out for what has been a great win for the North Sydney Bears.
Bears have been superb at getting out of their own territory today. Continue to do so. There goes Florimo.
Somebody stop him.
Like a cart horse, wasn't it? Florimo. Well, it's been the Flo and Fairley show at Bear Park today. off he goes again. Missed tackles, 19 for Manly, 6 for the Bears. Taylor. Soden ducks under a tackle. Last tackle for the Bears. What are the options? They'll run it. David Hall on the toe, too big. 5 minutes to go. Manly have no answer. There's the little kick. A touch too big.
It's the way they've orchestrated their set plays today, North Sydney. They've just really spread this Manly defence. They've got on the fringe a number of times. Got a lot of decoy runners, a lot of change of angles. Poor old Twos, have a look at him. He'll sleep well tonight. They might have to sew him up again after this match.
Lions, long ball for Hopewati, but really it was just thrown in hope. Well to stay in the field of play.
Well, there was a big duel today between Dallas and also Hopewati. They both might be in the Australian side, but I'll tell you what, Dallas has given him a bath today about wing play.
And the Bears have come up with the ball. Larson plays it back. And they're off again. 36-8, and they want more. They're greedy. The Bears are greedy. Look at this for a charge.
Amazing what confidence will do. Soden out of dummy half on the
back
inside.
for Josh Stewart. Stewart trying to use his strength. Now Soden again. Soden. Never a hope. Stewart at dummy half. Back for Taylor. Taylor. Set play now. Moore turns it back on the inside. But Florimo cut down just 1 metre short.
Last tackle.
Last tackle. For Taylor. The grubber kick. And forced dead there by Craig Field.
It's just been a continuation of pressure. Tremendous little kick put through there again by Taylor. Such a good short kicking game. And in the end cleaned up by Field, his opposite number. They'll get the footy back. Still 5 minutes left on the clock. Another chance for the Bears to get points on the board.
Craig Field. The dropout. Straight to Brent Dallas. Dallas. Oh! Hammered over the top, Brent Dallas. Lays it back. Soden. Loose ball. Larson picks it up. Now he looks for a hole. Larson accelerates. Got around the tackle of Sedaris, who got him off balance.
Wants to play every day, Larson.
Billy Moore. Running wide, Billy Moore. Stepping off the left foot.
Sending Tuvey back out there again.
With the more footy, the better for the Bears. Taylor. Florimo. Chance on the outside. Back for Dallas. Upended. Stewart.
I hope they meet again.
Florimo. Tries to get the arms free. Manly won at Brookvale. The Bears are winning at Bear Park. Short ball hit by Menzies. Back for Trindle.
Field goal.
Field goal attempt by Jason Taylor. Well, that just rubs Manly's nose in the dirt.
Well, he said, we're down here. We're going to get a point while we are. They play there. Trindle cleaned up at the back. He didn't know what to do with it. He threw it straight to Taylor. And there's the snapshot from Taylor. Here it is, Trindle. What am I going to do on the last? Taylor, I know what to do. Snap. There's the 1 point. And have a look at the scoreboard as it goes past. 37 points to 8.
That's now a record victory for the Bears against Manly. Just from memory, I think it was back in 1952 in the semi-finals when the Bears chalked up that
you know your footy champion.
36-8 victory over Manly. Dallas, what a day he's had. 2 tries. And a bypass, Trindle. You go to Fairley. And very dark overhead. Another good run from dummy half. There it was, Trindle. Loses it back, goes back, picks it up. And not only that, charges up into Menzies. Soden. Moore. Billy Moore slices them open. Florimo. Hopewati's after Florimo. Florimo gives it to Caruana, and Caruana continues fair play.
Billy Moore on the short side again, coming from depth. Beautiful offload on the outside too. Flow it was, Greg Florimo, and then the support come from everywhere. Great play there. Look at Florimo. Hopewadi can't put it with him. Caruana on the outside. The Bears have carved them up today.
There's Billy Moore, straight through Cliffy Lyons. And there's Florimo, had Hopewadi in pursuit. He didn't want to take the risk, and Carolina will jogged across.
They've really caused some trouble on that short side today, just coming from depth. Manly haven't moved up on the blind side. They've had all sorts of problems. Florimo, he's going running like he's 20. He'll play for another 20 years.
I'd like to. Why not? And Chris Caruana, who came into the starting lineup. Don't forget the Bears are without Ben Aiken and Michael Butner, two of their regular starters.
Well, they mightn't make the team after this performance.
Jason Taylor. Taylor, 41 to 8.
Would you ever believe it?
Who would have thought, Block? Taylor can't bring that one back. It's waved away. The scoreline remains 41 to 8. 7 tries to 2. The siren sounds. The Bears fans get to their feet and applaud. This has been as comprehensive as it gets. 41 points to 8.